Well, hello, this is Mr. Perez, and I'm going to help you go through your scheduling process. So this video will take a little while to get through, but it's important that we go through all the steps. If you have any questions at any point in time during the scheduling process, please come and see me or see your counselor. So by now you should have received an email, and in the email you have two important documents. The first document is going to be a document that is entitled Scheduling for Sophomore Year. And the other document is going to be your actual course placements. So it's important that you first start by reading everything that's here in this document, although we're going to go through quite a bit of it on the video, but reading through this document will be helpful getting you through the process. So the first page that's on the list is some pointers and some directions about what you need to think about in scheduling for your sophomore year. So the most important thing that you want to always think about is how many credits do you have according to the course selection card, and we're going to look at that in a few minutes. Every sophomore, junior, and senior needs to have 7.5 credits by the end of their course selection process. So typically most sophomores will have on their course selection card 7 credits, which means that you have to pick a half credit of electives, and we'll show you that in this process. So again, please be sure to read the following pages as they provide important information to you. In the curriculum guide can be found in the documents on the academics tab. I'll also show you where it's found in the parent portal and student portal plus. The two questions that should be guiding your process in the course selection is first and foremost, what do you want to study for college or what do you want to do for a career? These are really important questions you need to think about when you're taking classes. You want to take courses that are going to be preparing you for your college coursework or for your career coursework. Sure, courses might sound like they're going to be fun, but if they're not helping prepare you for that next stage in life, it may not be the best point in time to take those. The second question is, are the courses that you're taking going to help prepare you and challenge you academically for college and beyond? So again, it might sound like it's easy, but the more rigorous coursework that you have at the high school level, the better prepared that you are for the college level coursework that you will be taking. It also will help on tests like the ACT or the SAT. So again, be sure to look at classes that match your college and career goals, as well as what you can do to do your best in the classroom. And at the end of the document, we're going to go through very briefly some information about the Archdiocese of Chicago's Virtual Academy. And a key point here is that all of us at St. Patrick High School want to help you do your best. So if you have any questions, please speak with your teacher, your counselor, or any administrator, and we'll be more than happy to help you. Your counselors will be available in the cafeteria during lunch periods, starting with the scheduling process, and I'll also be making time to get upstairs to the cafeteria to the library during the cafeteria, also during lunch periods to answer any questions that you may have. Okay, so the next link is specifically for each student. So what we've done here is we've asked the teachers to make their recommendations for your course placements for next year. So they've looked at your English grades, you looked at if you have a world language, they looked at that, geometry, chemistry, religion classes, office applications 2, fine arts, PE, and US history. Certain classes already, like your English class, your Spanish, or your French, or your Mandarin class, or your language arts class, your geometry, your chemistry, the religion courses, and the US history courses are determined by your existing teacher. So your current teacher in those subject areas has made recommendations based upon where you should be for what level. So typically, you'll need to look at the course book or look at the names themselves. If they have a PX by them, that tells you it's a Phoenix level course. If it's got an H by it, that tells you it's an honors level course. So again, you want to look at the names of the classes as well as the course numbers in the course books to determine which level the classes are at. All of the classes that are on your sophomore pre-registration sheet are going to be courses that are required for sophomore year. So ahead of time, we already project that most students will have 7 credits projected. You need to have 7.5 credits in order to move from sophomore to junior year. So again, it's important that when you look at the course selection process, you're picking a half credit of electives. That doesn't mean you can't pick more than half a credit, but we'll talk about that later on. But the key number overall is 7.5 credits by the time this course selection process is done. Here's some final reminders about some other details, the curriculum guide where that's found. You've got the information about discussing with your teachers and your counselors. You've got information about how you are held accountable for your course selections. We're going to go through this process now. You'll get an email from me in May with the course selections that are finally finalized. And at that point in time, that will lock your course selections. Changes after that point in time are subject to a $100 course change fee, and courses may or may not be available for you to switch to at that point in time. Again, you need that 7.5 credits. And last, the tuition registration fee, which your parents received information about earlier in this year, making sure that it gets paid so you have a spot for next year's class. So this goes back to the other document that was entitled Scheduling for Sophomore Year. That's why you see the name right underneath the bold here. So again, every sophomore takes 7.5 credits, and that will usually consist of these required courses. So everybody takes a full year of religion. So that's a 1 semester of Old Testament and 1 semester of New Testament. Everybody has a half credit of Microsoft Office applications too. That's a more in-depth study of Microsoft Word and Microsoft Office. Everybody has a full credit of English. Everybody has a half a year of fine arts, which we'll talk about that in a moment. Everybody has a full year of a mathematics course that's usually in geometry or in some cases algebra 1. Everybody has a half credit of physical education and health. Everybody has a full credit of chemistry. Everybody has a half credit of U.S. history that takes us from the pre-Columbian period up until the end of the Civil War. Everybody also has a full credit typically of a language arts course or of a second year of a world language. So if you're in Spanish, you're typically going into Spanish 2. If you're in French, you'll go to French 2. If you're in Mandarin, you're going to Mandarin 2. If you are in language arts, most students will go to language arts 2. Some students will not, and I've already made contact with those students in particular. And then you have a half credit of electives, which brings you to that magic number of 7.5 credits for the year. We've already talked about in point number 2 how your placements for your courses are made by your existing teacher. So if you have any questions, as it says in point number 3, about placements that were made, you need to speak with your current teacher. I would be happy to talk to you about your placements. Your counselor is able to talk to you about your placements, but your current teacher made those placements, so it's important to have that conversation with him or her because he or she made that recommendation. So they can tell you why they made that choice and they made that option for you. If you have not been placed in a second year of a world language based upon your current performance, you're going to have the number 400 on your card. That's not a real course. We'll talk about how do you fill that in a second. And last on this slide, at least, is most sophomores have a generic course called 300 Fine Arts. This is not a real class. What this is this is a course that details that is a placeholder for the fine art credit that you need to take in sophomore year. So 300 does not exist. You'll go and you'll make a choice from the electives that will follow on the next couple of slides. If you have 318 on your schedule card, you do not need to make a fine arts choice. If you have a specific question about one number course 318 and how that works, come and talk to me individually. And then we'll talk about the selective in a second here. There are 3 options that you could take during the summer. The first one is Microsoft Office Applications 2. The second course is Introduction to STEAM. That's for those students who have not taken the STEAM class last summer and who want to join our STEAM track. So this is for existing freshmen who missed out last summer and who want to take the class this year. They can take it during the summer. If you don't take it during the summer, though, at this point in time, you won't be able to get into the STEAM track for graduation. And for our sophomores, to-be sophomores who took STEAM over the summer, we're offering STEAM 2. That's if you're still deciding on which of the specific pathways you would wish to take. I'll be talking to those students who took STEAM over the summer soon and talking to them about options for course selections individually. Registration will all take place online. That's all done through the portal, which we'll explain to do in a second. So you need to do that through the portal system in order to sign up for the class, and then you'll see how that works. The reason why you might take one of these summer enrichment classes is that you want to create time to take a full study hall, or you want to take another additional credit of fine arts, or take one of the other additional electives, or again have a study hall during the school year. But you minimally need to have 7 credits during the regular school year. If you don't have 7 credits during the regular school year, I will be asking you to pick something to fill you up to that 7 credits. Again, this details the information regarding the Introduction to STEAM course and regarding STEAM 2, so I'll let you read that at your leisure. Again, please make your course selections wisely. And again, your selection should be based upon what you plan to do post-high school and the subjects for which you have an interest, not on who may be teaching it now or what you think how easy or how hard a course might be. We do make placements for teachers and scheduling based upon the registrations that take place at this time, so we can't have a lot of movement once the scheduling process is finished. And again, if you have any questions, please see your counselor or come and see me. So this is the sophomore elective sheets. Electives are those courses you take in addition to the classes that you're required to take in order to graduate. We arrange this sheet by our departments. We have electives in English, in fine arts, in mathematics, in physical education, in science, and in social studies. The course number here is going to help you find what this class is about. So if you go to the curriculum guide and you look at course number 252, journalism, that curriculum guide will tell you what the course will teach you, what it involves, the academic level that it's at. So if it's an honors level, it's a Phoenix level, if it's a De La Salle level course, and it'll also most importantly tell you the prerequisites. Prerequisites are the skills that you need to have or the approvals that you need to get in order to take a class. Right now, the most important thing you need to worry about are the skills. So if it says you need to have a C or better in a particular class, if you have a C or better, you're eligible for that elective. If you don't have that C or better, unfortunately, you shouldn't sign up for that elective now. When it says approval from the current teacher, you don't need to worry about getting the approval. That'll all be done on the back end out of the office. So once the course selection process is finished, I then generate the list of the classes that the students would wish to take and get those to the teachers. The teachers look at those lists and make the final choices off of their final selections or final recommendations. If there's an issue with a placement, I will then be in contact with the student to let him know that there's a problem with the placement and we need to look at possibly taking another elective course. But assume right now that if you follow the prerequisites, you should be able to get in the courses of your choice. So, journalism is a class we offer. That's a class that deals with the history and practice of journalism. So you're learning about the First Amendment rights that we have as Americans that protect a free press, and learning about how to do some basic media skills. So when editors edit a newspaper, what are they looking for? When the writers are writing a story, what are they trying to do? So it's a really neat class. It's an exciting class. It's offered. We're happy to do that. This is the prerequisite course for a course that we're adding this year for our juniors and seniors in particular on an honors journalism course. So we're hoping to expand that to a PAC level course in subsequent years. The next part is our fine arts listings. So again, we're going to go back to that course selection sheet with that 300 number. If you have 300, which most of you do because you've taken the half credit of the fine art already as a freshman, you need to pick something from this list here that's going to substitute for this 300. Remember, 300 is not real. It does not exist. So I can't give you a class that doesn't really exist. That's why you've got to pick one of these. 300 is worth half a credit. It's just a placeholder to say you need another half credit of a fine art to graduate from St. Patrick High School. So you can easily pick any one of these other half credit electives that are listed here on the page, and those will simply substitute for that 300. You can also take an additional half credit class to give you that 7.5 credits, because remember, if you've got 7 credits from the other sheet and you have another half credit here by picking one more of these, that brings you to 7.5. You can go to 8 credits if you would like by taking 2 of these. If you go to 8 credits though, you will not have a study during sophomore year unless you take something in the summer. New courses that we've offered this school year, we're offering computer graphics, digital music 1, digital music 2, and improvisation are brand new courses that are starting this next school year. Take a look in the curriculum guide, talk to the fine arts teachers to learn more about those if you're interested in that. You can take band, you can take jazz band, you can take percussion and concert band and chorus again. You'll notice that these classes are not saying honors level. That's because those teachers will schedule your auditions and make the placements for the honors level at another time. So right now, if you are interested in taking jazz band, you would simply select jazz band, and then Mr. Glowinski will schedule your audition and determine whether or not you're an honors jazz band. That'll take place on the back end once the schedule process is finished. In terms of the mathematics classes, we offer a full year course on Introduction to Computer Science. With this does not substitute for anything that's up here in the fine arts. So if you take Introduction to Computer Science, which is computer programming, learning JavaScript to do computer science, then that would take you to 8 credits, which would mean you would not have a study hall unless you took something during this summer. Lifeguarding is a class that we're offering to those students who have skills in swimming. Again, you need to be able to swim in order to take lifeguarding. Mrs. Gibson will do a test for that. And this is simply a replacement of 622 PE. You already have a half credit of PE in the class. You can opt to take lifeguarding, but don't add this half credit to the other 7 credits are on the sheet to say I've got 7.5. Because if you add lifeguarding, I'm going to take away the sophomore PE health in its place. We also offer robotics for a full year, and again, that goes back to that same piece with the 8 credits from the computer science course. And we offer a couple business courses. Marketing is sports and entertainment marketing, and that's learning about the skills that are used to create media products, advertisements in the press, as well as on radio and television. Incubator is open to sophomores this year. That's our Shark Tank-like course. You can take that for a full year and learn about how to design and create your own business, and hopefully at the end of the year, get some money there to continue the business going down the line. And Model UN, that's a special course that meets outside of the regular school time, but because there is work that's involved with creating papers for your UN conference, we do offer a half credit for that. Students who take Model UN, I make sure to check the curriculum guide because there is a cost involved with that for the conferences, and you do need to prepay that conference cost before the end of this school year. So now let's actually find out how we do the course selection. So now at this point in time, I'm a student who's logged into his portal account, and this is only through the student side. Parents do not have access to the course selection form. We want the students making the course selection sheets. So if a student has an issue with accessing his Plus Portal account, please have him come and see me so we can reset that account. This will also only work through a browser. So this will only work through Safari or through Edge or through Internet Explorer. This won't work on the app. So you need to be able to access your Plus Portal account using a regular computer or using Safari or Chrome or one of the other apps on your iPad. So when you log in, you're going to go to the link here that says Course Requests. Once you click on that, it's going to take you to the next page where you're going to find a document that says Sophomore Course Elective Sheet. Then you're going to click on the View Edit link. And this then takes you to the actual course selection process. Now, again, they're grouped by departments. We have our English classes, we have our fine arts classes. You do not need to pick something in every block. So if you're not interested in taking journalism, you don't have to worry about marking anything in journalism. If you are interested in journalism, then you would certainly go and you would, instead of not clicking on journalism, you would click on the little box here and it's going to fill it in, and that's going to indicate that you want to take journalism. This little exclamation point over here causes the menu to drop down a little bit further, and it lists the prerequisites as well as anything else about the course. So if you don't want to go to the course guide, you can click on the little I in the exclamation point and find the same information that's in the curriculum guide on the actual site. So again, you're going to go through and pick your options. So let's say if I was a student here and I wanted to take, I had 7 credits, I need to take my half credit elective. I'm going to say I'm going to take journalism, and as my half credit of my World Fine Art class, I'm going to pick digital music. That completes my course selection process, with the exception of the next step, because at this point in time, I've added my half credit to get it to 7.5, and I've replaced my Fine Art 300 fake class with the digital music class that I want to take. So a couple points with this here. If you have 318 on your course selection card, don't pick anything from this block. If you are interested in taking something from this block, please come and talk to me first before you pick anything from that block. See me or see your counselor, and we'll be happy to talk you with that. If you've taken a full credit of fine arts, some students have already taken band, or they've taken percussion, or they've taken chorus. They've got their full credit of fine art and they don't want to continue with the fine art. They don't have to take another fine art class next year. If that's the case that you're in there, please come and talk to me as well, and I'll talk to you individually about separate things that you can do more elective-wise. Next page Continues the electives. Again, only select if you want to take them. So mathematics, if you want to take computer science, you would select that. If you want to take robotics, you would select that course. And if you want to take any of the marketing, incubator, or model UN, you would select those appropriately. Again, highlighting the sophomore physical education choice. This is only a replacement. Do not count this as part of your 7.5 credits. So if you're interested in taking lifeguarding, you can certainly click on that link, but then only select that if you can A, swim, and B, you understand this is taking the place of the 622, the physical education is already on there. It's not in addition to. Last part is the summer classes. So you should have received an email already regarding the summer program. So this lists the summer classes here. There's a couple things you need to do. So the first thing is you actually do the summer enrichment program through this link, because if you notice, Microsoft Office Applications 2 has 2 different times. If you just simply click on this link, which you can do, I don't know what time you want to take it. I don't know if you're taking it in the morning or the afternoon. The Google Sheet that is accessed through this link here will allow you to pick between the morning and the afternoon time. So if you are going to take Microsoft Office Applications 2 in the summer, please do the registration through this summer enrichment program link. It's really important you do it that way, not just by clicking on this, because I'm going to have to track you down, and if things get filled up before you get back to me, there's going to be problems on all of our ends. If you want to take STEAM or STEAM 2, you can click it here and that'll be fine. A couple buttons that you need to pay attention to at the bottom. Cancel will clear the form. So if you click all kinds of things and you want to clear it, you hit the cancel button and that'll clear out all the boxes you checked. Save and revisit later. This is if you are filling things out and you have questions, you want to come and get information, you can click boxes and you press save and release later, and then it'll allow you to come back to the form. The submit button locks the form. So when you are done making your course selections and you say, these are the classes that I want to take, then you press this and you've got that 7.5 credits, then you click the submit button, and at that point in time, the form is locked. That doesn't mean to say that you can't change your mind about something, but you cannot go back into the form if you've already submitted it. So if you click the submit button, it'll say, thank you for submitting your form. I'll go in and I'll put the changes in the system, and then a couple days later you say, oh, I really don't want to take marketing, I'd like to take journalism. That's fine, that's okay, that's great. You should email me at that point in time that what change you want to make in your schedule, because you won't be able to do it through the submission form again. Last couple of points here is we do offer some classes in the summer and during the school year through our distance learning partnership with the Virtual Academy in the Archdiocese of Chicago. So it's an online program that you can start taking in the summer and that you could take throughout the school year. These are the instructions for it, so I'll let you read that at your leisure. Some of the courses that we offer some AP classes. AP means you take the AP test at the end of the school year, which is a large-scale test given by the College Board to test your knowledge and assessment of what you learned from these courses. Depending upon your scores on the AP test, you may or may not earn college credit. So we offer AP Art History, AP Computer Science. We also offer AP Environmental Science, AP European History, and AP World History. We also offer 2 enrichment courses through the Archdiocese Learning Academy. That's the digital video production course, and that's through game design. So if you want to register for any of the Virtual Academy programs, come and see me and follow these instructions, and I'll give you further details about that. You can see additional costs for each one of the courses because this is through the Archdiocese. This is not through St. Patrick High School. And final reminders. So again, you need to have 7.5 credits as a sophomore. If you are short 7.5 credits, you can't get into junior year. So if you take something in the summer, again, you can have 7 credits during the school year because you'll have 1 study hall each semester. You can certainly go up to 8 credits during the academic year, but if you go to 8 credits, then you will not have a study hall in the summer. You can even go up to 8.5 credits if you're really interested. What that means is you've taken something in the summer and you don't have any study halls during the school year. So students can go up to 8.5 credits when they add it up. If they really want to load up their schedule, that's fine. We're okay with that. If that's the case, come and talk to me as well so I know you're picking that many ahead of time so I'm not bothering you and saying, are you really sure you want to do this? But again, that magic number at the end of this registration process is to be at 7.5. So again, final reminders, if you have a 300 on your course selection card, be sure you pick the fine art from the list. If you have 318, you don't need to worry about that at the time. If you want to take a different fine art course, you can come and see me. Also, please remember to look at the prerequisites for the courses so you know, again, can you take those courses? Have you had the skills? For example, you cannot take Honors Graphic Design 2 if you don't take Honors Graphic Design 1. You cannot take Honors 3 without taking Honors 1 and 2. So make sure you've taken the courses that will meet the prerequisites. The course selection process needs to be completed by the end of the school day on Friday, April 27th, so you have about a week and a half to do this. Again, your counselors will be upstairs in the library during their lunch periods, and I will be up there during several of the lunch periods as well over the coming days to help answer any questions that students may have. I do ask that you check your emails regularly, that means daily, once you submit the course selection process, because if I do have issues, I do have questions, I'm going to be emailing you, and again, it's kind of on a first come, first served basis. So if you take 3 days to email about what day you want to take in the summer, because you didn't follow the other instructions, that's one half of the summer might be filled, and then you'll be out of luck. And again, if you have any questions, any concerns, any problems, come and talk to me or come and talk to your counselor. So good luck with this process. Do well with it. And again, we hope to see you back next year. And go Shamrocks.